So I was actually pretty excited late last year when I first heard the rumors that the next Battlefield game was going to be Battlefield Bad Company 3, because Bad Company 2 was honestly my favorite Battlefield game ever. And I played all of them, including 1942. I actually think the only one I haven't played was Vietnam, Battlefield Vietnam, that was. I played Bad Company 2 Vietnam. I didn't play Vietnam, which I think was the second or third game in the series. I can't remember. But I did play 2142. I did play 1942. And I played, of course, the more recent entries. I played Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 3. I did not play Battlefield 2, actually. So Battlefield 2 and Vietnam are the only ones I have not played. But for the most part, I've played, I've played most of the entries in the Battlefield series. So I think I have a pretty good opinion on what the future of the Battlefield series should be, what the next Battlefield game should look like. And I really think it should be Bad Company 3. I heard the rumors that it's going to be Bad Company 3, and I was very excited about that. Very excited. And I was like, oh my god, this is going to be amazing, because Bad Company 2 was the best, honestly the best Battlefield game I have ever played. Of course, it was the first Battlefield game I played, so some people might say that I'm just being biased, but it's true. Battlefield Bad Company 2 is an amazing shooter, and it got me into the Battlefield series. And, I have played other games since. I played 3, 4, 1, etc., but nothing really beats Bad Company 2, honestly. So that alone is a reason why I would want Bad Company 3. But another reason is because it keeps the Battlefield series fresh if we have Bad Company 3. Because the rumor was you're going to have Bad Company 3, and it's going to kind of be like take place during the Cold War, similar to Black Ops 1 setting. And it's going to be, similar gameplay mechanics to Bad Company 2, with a completely destructible environment. Like, you can pretty much blow anything up. Because after Bad Company 2, they had destructible environments, but not nearly on that level. You could literally blow up anything in Bad Company 2. So Bad Company 3 was supposed to, recapture that. And it was also, a different setting, something different, something we haven't seen in quite a long time. In recent years, the Battlefield series has really been focusing on modern military combat, with Battlefield 3 and then Battlefield 4 right afterwards. And Battlefield 4 lasted quite a long time. People actually still play it today. So that's how you know how much longevity that game had. There's just so much new content coming out. Even after the DLC season, there was still new maps and new stuff coming out. And I have to say, man, when I first played Battlefield 4, I was very disappointed. But, with all the server issues and the bugs and the glitches and all that crap. But, they really decided to support their game. They decided to stick through it and not just say, oh, it's a buggy mess, not much we could do about it, like they did with Medal of Honor Warfighter the previous year. They're like, oh, we have so many issues with the game and people are abandoning it, so 1 month after release, we're just going to cut off support. We're not going to release the DLC, which, not releasing the DLC makes sense, and that's one thing, but not supporting a game 1-2 months after release is a very bad. That just makes them look very bad. Say what you want about Medal of Honor Warfighter. I think if they stuck through it, they could have improved it a lot. That's just me, because I enjoyed Medal of Honor Warfighter, and if I had the means to play it again, I totally would. But it's kind of hard because, well, A, nobody's playing, and B, it's last generation, so I don't really play on my last generation consoles anymore. But after the modern military stuff that we've been seeing for the past few years, we had Battlefield 3 and then we had Battlefield 4, and I think Bad Company 2 was also in a modern setting, I believe. I mean, although you really can't compare Battlefield Bad Company 2 to Battlefield 3 or 4, but pretty much we've been exposed to modern military combat for quite a long time in the Battlefield series. Then, all of a sudden, they decided to mix it up. Oh, we're going to World War I. And a lot of people were excited, and once the game came out, Battlefield 1, people were disappointed. Other people were like, they still loved it, and some people still play it today. I mean, they just came out with their last DLC. So let's see how much longer the game lasts in terms of player base. I thought Apocalypse was a good DLC, by the way. You can see gameplay footage of it right now. I think one of the main complaints about Battlefield 1 is that it doesn't really capture the essence of World War 1, all the death, the destruction, the deforestation, the trench warfare. Apocalypse pretty much captured all of that. So I think it was a really good way to end Battlefield 1. And I am overall okay. I'm overall happy with Battlefield 1 and the way it came out. I didn't like it at first. I didn't like the beta. I didn't like. I really couldn't get into it at first, and I still can't get completely into it, to be honest with you. But I don't think it was a bad game at all. I don't think there's anything wrong with the game at all. It's a good game. It's a good game. So I would recommend anyone who hasn't played it to definitely give it a shot. I don't know how much it costs now, but I'm sure it's probably pretty cheap by now. So if you haven't played it, I recommend giving it a shot, especially if you're a fan of the Battlefield series and you kind of feel like the Battlefield series has been kind of stale. I mean, it's fresh. I mean, some people accuse it of being just a regular Battlefield game with a World War I coat of paint. It doesn't feel like World War I because you have the fully automatic weapons and whatnot. I understand that, but I still think you can really differentiate it between Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 3 or 4. However, that does not mean that I am excited for the rumor that that just came out, that we're not getting Bad Company 3. We're getting Battlefield 2. Not the original Battlefield 2. It's going to be called Battlefield 2, but it's going to pretty much just be World War 2. So it's going to feel it's just going to feel completely like Battlefield 1. You're not going to really have anything fresh in the series because we all know it, because Battlefield 1 had fully auto weapons. It really felt more like World War 2 than World War 1, honestly. I mean, unless you want to count Apocalypse, which feels, a lot like World War 1. But honestly, like, who actually thinks that Battlefield 2 is going to be different from 1? Honestly, who actually thinks that? It's just going to be Battlefield 1 with World War 2 weapons and World War 2 settings, and, who knows, maybe they're going to ban swastikas from their game like Sledgehammer did. And another thing, I'm tired of World War 2. I know we just got back into World War II because during the last generation, every single game developer was making a World War II game. Then they took, we haven't really seen too much World War II games during this generation. However, I am still tired of it. Years later, I do not want to go back to World War II. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't want to go back to World War II. World War II is just, in the gaming industry, has just been beaten to death so much that I don't think anybody can offer a unique take on it. And that's not just in video games. It's also in movies, in TV shows, centered around World War II. I'm sick of World War II. Like, I don't know. I'm just sick and tired of it. And I don't want Battlefield 2. I really don't. Now, I assume that in Battlefield 2, they would like reskin the Battlefield 2 maps and fit it into a World War II setting. I don't know. But calling it that's another thing. Calling it Battlefield 2 when it's not Battlefield 2. Battlefield 2 was, came out in 2006. And to just say, no, this game's Battlefield 2, not this game. It's just, no, I don't want that. Because that's the rumor. It's going to be called Battlefield 2 to, make it feel, for marketing purposes. And I'm just like, no, I don't want that at all. I don't think it'll be a bad game at all. I just think we've seen enough of the World War II in video games. Not just that, but it's going to be so similar to Battlefield 1 that really the Battlefield series is going to start suffering the same symptoms as the Call of Duty series, where they keep coming out with similar games every year, like we had recently with the futuristic Call of Duty games back to back to back to back to back. We had 5 futuristic Call of Duties in a row. So yeah, I mean, it didn't feel too fresh, the Call of Duty series, for quite a while, and they decided, we're gonna go back to World War II. So that's another. I'm just tired of World War II. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you think Battlefield 2 is gonna be a great game? Are you excited for it? Are you excited for a World War II Battlefield game? Because I know we haven't seen World War II Battlefield in a while, but it's not going to feel. It really. It's just going to feel just like Battlefield 1, honestly. And I just don't want that.